to a real mess. People on one city street found their cars covered in a layer of ice today. It's just one symptom of the dangerous cold that's left people across our region bundling up and bracing for the brutal temperatures. It's Friday afternoon. I'm Shari Williams.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News today is that frigid forecast for the holiday weekend. Gray Hall will have more on the problem that turned that car into an ice sculpture today. But let's get things started with meteorologist Adam Joseph with the call from AccuWeather. Adam.
Yeah, Brian and Shari, it is cold today, but this is going to feel balmy when you're talking about tomorrow and especially into Sunday. Take a look at the numbers in the Mid-Atlantic. It is 25 degrees right now in Philadelphia, 26 in New York City, Washington at 30 degrees, 16 Binghamton, 19 in Pittsburgh. But as we lift to the north and west, this is where that Arctic front is sitting right now. And behind that front, air temperatures are 2 in Sault Ste. Marie, 4 below in International Falls, Pickle Lake, 11 below in Thompson in central Canada, 8 below 0. And with this Arctic front, like a couple of days ago on Thursday when we had that other Arctic front pass through, there are some snow showers and snow squalls with it. They are still mainly near the Great Lakes and western Ohio Valley, so it'll still be some time before they slide through here. And the good thing about this go-around is the timing, because it happens when most of us are off the roads or in bed or at home. Anytime between 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning, roads will quickly get covered by these snow squalls, reducing visibility, and we can see anywhere between a coating to as much as an inch of snow. Wind chill advisory then goes into effect 6 p.m. tomorrow, lasting through 9 a.m. on Sunday for the entire viewing area, where wind chills will be anywhere on the average of 10 to 20 degrees below 0. In fact, the lowest wind chills going into Sunday morning, the Poconos 20 to 30 below, most of our area 15 to 20 below, and in southern areas 10 to 15 degrees below 0. Some dangerous wind chills over the weekend. We'll chat about the second half of the weekend and what Sunday will bring coming up, Brian, in that full AccuWeather forecast.
All right, Adam, thanks very much. And as you just mentioned, these below freezing temperatures are potentially dangerous, and they're causing problems across the region, especially in West Philadelphia, where a water line break quickly froze over and left cars encased in ice. Action News reporter Gray Hall continues our live team coverage today. He is at 63rd and Haverford. Quite a scene there, Gray.
Indeed it is, Brian. Certainly not the way you want to end or start a Friday. Some residents spent hours with no running water, and unfortunately some woke up to their cars, as you mentioned, covered in ice. It is not a good mixture of below freezing temperatures and a burst pipe. The combination caused an icy mess for people living along North 63rd and Haverford Streets in West Philadelphia.
My cousin called me 6:15 in the morning to let me know that my street was flooded. And when I looked out the window, I just couldn't believe it.
The break happened Thursday night when a pipe supplying water to a fire hydrant burst, sending water pouring onto the street. The incident left 80 homes without water and also disrupted traffic and SEPTA service.
When I came through, I didn't know. I thought it was ice age. I really didn't know what it was. You know, I've seen a lot of ice out here. I kind of think the first thing came to my mind was pipe busted.
If you thought you were having a bad morning, maybe a bad week, it cannot be worse than what happened in this West Philadelphia neighborhood. Take a look at this. Imagine waking up to your car covered in ice. It happened in this neighborhood after an underground pipe ruptured.
Oh my God, I can't believe that car over there is frozen, absolutely frozen.
Other drivers also woke up to the icy nightmare in ice-covered cars. The unlucky ones were forced to do some unexpected scraping before the streets closed. Passing cars splashed water onto the parked ones, quickly turning them into ice statues.
Can't even put a key in the door. My tires are frozen, my windshield is frozen, my doors are frozen, I think my window's cracked.
All right, back out live. You see workers out here still on the scene, still no cause of this ruptured pipe. I can also tell you just moments ago, workers with the water department tell me that all water service has now been restored in this area. We should also mention that just blocks away, there are reports of water in the streets. That's happening along 57th and 58th. The water department says they are now investigating this. Live in West Philadelphia, Gray Hall, Channel 6 Action News. Brian?
All right, Gray, thanks very much. And, of course, visit 6abc.com/weather right through this holiday weekend. Our team of meteorologists will keep you up to date on the Arctic blast. And remember to follow each of them on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms so you always know what's coming.
From our Delaware newsroom now, 4 students were hurt in a crash outside of Brandywine High School today in Wilmington. It happened right near the school just after 7 o'clock this morning as students were showing up for class. 2 vehicles collided, leaving one person trapped in the back seat. Medics got everyone out and took all 4 of them to the hospital. They were all between the ages of 14 and 17. Police say all of them were wearing seatbelts and none of their injuries are life-threatening. A woman was caught shoplifting in Macy's, and she had her child with her. But rather than get arrested, she took off and left the daughter behind. Vernon Odom is following this story live in Center City this afternoon. And Vernon, that little girl is now in protective custody, but police are still trying to find her mother.
Good evening, Shari. First of all, Macy's corporate leaders have no comment so far tonight. The suspect remains free at this hour, but she did have to leave those stolen goods and the most precious item of all behind. At Macy's last night, a woman with her 3-year-old child was arrested for shoplifting. Macy's told police she was in possession of some $1,400 worth of merchandise. As security held her for police to arrive, she managed somehow to wiggle out of her handcuffs and get away, but leaving her daughter behind. She remains at large at this hour. The child has been turned over to DHS. Here's random reaction from local folks.
I can't believe that a mother would leave her child. I lost my only child. I wished I had him back. That's so sad.
Police say they have the suspect's identity and plan to get a warrant and go arrest her tonight.
It's just a horrendous situation. I don't know. Some people just don't deserve to have children.
Philadelphians are not the only ones appalled by this. These South Jersey residents have grown children and grandchildren.
I don't know how somebody could even do that. You would think of her before your child, before yourself.
Sad, very sad. That's all you can say. Mother just thinks of her kids last. Not acceptable.
Indeed, Alicia, not acceptable. Police plan to go lock her up tonight. She faces multiple charges, including retail theft and recklessly endangering the welfare of a child. I'm Vernon Odom, Channel 6 Action News in Center City.
Vernon, thank you. What an incredible story there. Over to Arizona today now, where officials say 2 15-year-old girls are dead after a double shooting at a high school in Glendale. Police say the 2 young students were fatally shot just before 8 o'clock this morning on school grounds near a patio-covered area near the administration office. Officers responded, we're told, within 2 minutes, and the school was placed on immediate lockdown as a precaution. This afternoon, police saying they do believe this is an isolated incident and the rest of the student body is safe. They wouldn't disclose the relationship between the girls, only saying that each was shot 1 time.
They were declared deceased at the scene. It's a tragic incident. 2 young people are dead this morning. These 2 young women were found next to each other. There was a weapon found beside them. We don't believe that there's any suspects that are out there at this time that we're searching for. We don't have any persons of interest at this time, and I think that's important that you know that.
Authorities calling this a tragedy as they work to unravel the details leading up to the incident that shook the school and the community. We are also learning again this afternoon that weapon was found near their bodies. A lot of questions here, and certainly a lot of people in that area waiting for answers, especially those parents, Brian.
Certainly are. Alicia, thank you. Brand new here at 4 o'clock. Police in Delaware have charged 3 students for a fight on a school bus, and they say it all started because of candy. We brought you the story as breaking news at 4 o'clock yesterday when the fight got so out of hand the driver pulled over on the side of I-95 and called police. Now, this involves students from the Christina School District. Police say a 17-year-old girl started throwing candy at another girl. That led to an argument, which drew in other students on the bus. In the end, an 18-year-old who tried to break it up was allegedly attacked by the 17-year-old and 2 other students. One of those students, a 16-year-old girl, is accused of spraying the victim in the face with some kind of chemical. All 3 are now charged with assault.
NBA great and Sixers legend Allen Iverson is a finalist for induction into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Iverson is one of a handful of finalists in a star-studded group that includes Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming. Well, Iverson was a Rookie of the Year and an 11-time All-Star and the league's most valuable player in 2001 when he led the Sixers to the finals. Iverson will find out if he made it when the full class is announced in April. Of course, we'll have more on the announcement coming up in sports tonight at 5. Big honor for him if it comes true. All right, time now for the Action News Traffic Report.
All right, let's send it over to Matt Pellman, standing by in the Action News Traffic Center with the first check. Hey, Matt.
Always quite the game getting home, especially on a Friday afternoon before a holiday weekend, Brian and Shari. And so, as expected, things are busy as you head home this afternoon, like here on 95. Northbound side backing up from this point just north of Penn's Landing. On up toward Allegheny, that's where we had a broken down vehicle that just cleared out of the way. Then it slows again farther north, 13 miles per hour as you travel between the Betsy Ross Bridge and Cotman Avenue. Watching an accident involving a pedestrian right by Reading Terminal Market in Chinatown, there along Arch Street between 11th and 12th. And Gray was telling us about the leak coming from the pipe that supplies the fire hydrant in West Philadelphia, so 63rd and Haverford. Still a good intersection to avoid. It's covered in ice this afternoon, and the 15 trolley is not running between 60th and 63rd because of that water and ice issue in West Philadelphia. In East Mount area, we're watching a crash that has some of the traffic lights not working this afternoon. Crash happened along Anderson Street at Upsall Street. In East Norton, watch out for a wreck along Meadowbrook Road at Swede Road. And in Newark, Delaware, an accident is shutting down the southbound lanes of 896. That's College Avenue between Four Seasons Parkway and Route 40 Pulaski Highway. Pleasant Valley Road, an alternate around that, with the slow speeds just starting to kick in there in the southbound lanes of Highway 1 by the Christiana Mall. Let's grab the iPad, do the commuter report on this finally Friday afternoon. And as expected on a Friday like this, complete standstill on the Walt Whitman Bridge headed into New Jersey. No accidents, just a lot of people trying to get out of Dodge on this Friday afternoon. We'll check it again, Brian and Shari, in the next half hour.
All right, Matt, see you then. Thank you. And still ahead here today, an update on that outbreak at Ursinus. The college is telling us about new cases as a stomach bug continues to bring life on that campus to a halt.
Plus, they are a Philly startup hoping to make it big. We'll tell you about the product that they're bringing on Shark Tank tonight.
And with temperatures below freezing, here's a story to give you dreams of spring. We are with the Phillies as they get ready to head for Florida. This good. The Dow up big time today. 314 points to close at 15,974 for the week. The NASDAQ also up 71 points. The S&P 500 finishing out the Green Arrow Day up 36 points on the day. Ursinus College says 7 more students reported feeling sick as part of an outbreak that's brought that Montgomery County campus to a standstill. That brings the total to 192 students who've reported symptoms of a stomach bug going around Collegeville. Now, the first reports came in Tuesday. Ursinus says a handful of faculty and staff have also reported symptoms. The school shut down its dining hall and canceled classes because of the outbreak. They still, though, have not figured out just what is causing this.
Tonight on ABC's Shark Tank, a Philadelphia startup pitches a product they say will revolutionize the way we eat. They tell me it's a one-of-a-kind personal health tool, and they are taking it to the sharks.
Is this changing the way we eat? Absolutely. It's going to.
It's a product that University City entrepreneur Anthony Ortiz says was inspired at home.
We almost lost my dad to triple bypass surgery. And the surgeon said to us, you know, your dad could have avoided this. And if he just ate a little bit better and was a little more active. And I thought, wow, that's a simple prescription.
And a sort of simple concept that Ortiz says no one had marketed before. A plate that does the work for you.
Never has the plate been able to ever tell us and give us the information that we need, such as how much to eat, when to eat, what to pair what things with to guide us. So this is the first time in history that we've made a plate smart.
It uses weight sensors, cameras, and image recognition software to weigh and analyze your food.
What I love about this is that your plate has like surveillance cameras, so you cannot hide from your food.
It then alerts you when you're missing the mark, whether on the plate itself or via push notification to your phone.
So this plate can actually tell you remove 2 tablespoons from tray C because you're about to go over on your carbohydrate limit.
Tonight, Smart Plate will get a national spotlight as Ortiz's former head of marketing makes the big pitch.
All you have to do is place your food on the plate the way you normally would, and bam, get all your nutritional information in a snap.
We can't really talk about the outcome, but the experience was tremendous. We're excited to you know, to see if the Sharks take a bite out of Smart Plate or if Smart Plate's going to eat the Sharks for breakfast. We'll see.
And you can see the episode tonight at 9 on 6 ABC. Here's what they're asking for from those Sharks. $1 million for a 15% share in Smart Plate. And if you were wondering if it can go in the dishwasher with all that technology, it can. And it is for sale right now. It doesn't ship out till later this year. You can get a discount, by the way, Shari, if you order now as opposed to waiting. So we're also waiting to see whether or not those Sharks are willing to invest.
Yeah, definitely has many of our attention in here today.
I have a good feeling.
We shall see tonight.
Put it out there.
All right. Meantime, anyone who wants to enter the lottery for this year's Broad Street Run has to do it by the end of today. The lottery closes 1 second before midnight tonight. Runners can enter online until then. There are 40,000 spots available in this year's race. Anyone who wins one of those bibs will find out on Tuesday. The 10-mile run is scheduled for May 1st.
This is not an ideal weekend to run outside, but with all this freezing weather, here's a warm thought for you. It'll be baseball season before you know it. The Phillies packed up their truck for spring training this morning at Citizens Bank Park. It's loaded with bats, balls, jerseys, and gloves, and yes, the Fanatic was also there to make sure his hot dog launcher made it on board that truck, because, you know, it wouldn't be spring break without that. The truck is on the road right now, headed for Clearwater. Pitchers and catchers report this coming Wednesday.
Can we get on the truck?
I would love to.
Adam, we were all thinking we would like warmer temperatures than the ones we're having this weekend.
Take the show on the road, huh?
Yeah, let's take it on the road. Head down south, because you'd have to go way down to the south, because much of the eastern half of the country definitely going to deal with the chill this weekend. Right now, we're sitting in the middle 20s across much of the area, low 20s to the north and west with 22, the key number, and the Poconos 14 degrees. But we do have a light wind out there. It's not strong, but it is moving those temperatures into the teens across the area. So it feels like 13 Allentown, 18 Philadelphia, 18 in Dover, and even teens at Long Beach Island down to Atlantic City. As we look at satellite and radar, a lot of clouds have moved in this afternoon ahead of the next Arctic front, and also a storm that is off the coast developing from the Carolinas and the Virginias. That will miss us, but you can see the snow showers around the lakes beginning to sink in from the south and west, so we will watch this front as it passes through during the overnight hours tonight. And as it arrives, which is mainly after 10, 11, 12 o'clock tonight, that's when we'll see the possibility of some snow squalls developing. And much like Thursday morning, if you encounter them, they reduce visibility. They can quickly coat the ground in spots, and temperatures will be in the teens across much of the area, with the exception far southern Delaware, New Jersey. Temperatures right around 21 to 23 degrees. Future tracker at 11 o'clock, there you can see some of those snow showers and snow squalls ahead of the front to the north and to the west. Then it passes through especially Philadelphia into southern New Jersey around 5 o'clock in the morning. So at least this go around, the timing for the snow squalls is good because it's during the overnight hours, and then they're off the coast for the early morning hours of Saturday. But even into Saturday afternoon, notice the temperatures. We were in the 20s at around 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, dropping into the single numbers and teens for temperatures in the afternoon and evening. And you see these, what look like fingers, extending from the northwest to the south and east. These are lake effect snow showers and snow squalls that can even happen tomorrow afternoon. And the reason that they can survive all the way from the lakes into our region is that a wind advisory is in effect. The winds tomorrow will howl out of the northwest, speeds of 45 to 55 miles an hour. So it's cold, it is windy, and we could even see those snow squalls into tomorrow afternoon in spots. And future tracker wind chills, 9 below for Saturday afternoon in the Lehigh Valley, 3 below Philadelphia, even below 0 at the shore. And by Saturday at 8 p.m., right around 0 Philadelphia. If you are going out tomorrow evening, wind chills generally below that freezing point. And same thing as we go into Sunday morning. 10 below Philadelphia, 17 below Trenton, and near 30 below in the Poconos. That 4-day at 4 forecast, we are in the freezer here for the entire weekend, and very windy tomorrow with temperatures dropping into the lower teens by the afternoon. Record lows on Sunday morning, but it's sunny on Valentine's Day, a high of just 16, and then a round of light snow comes in the late afternoon and evening on Monday of 33, and it changes to some sleet, freezing rain, and eventually a soaking rain with highs going into the 50s on Tuesday. So a pretty active 4-day forecast. We'll have that 7-day coming up in the next half hour.
All right, Adam, thank you. And up next here today, it's a different kind of convention, bringing unusual art to Philadelphia. Details on what's setting up shop in town this weekend.
And the Battleship New Jersey is showing some love. Details on the next exhibit opening just in time for Valentine's Day.
Oh, and just in time for Valentine's Day, there's a man in New York City who is putting up these posters all around town looking for his wife's dry cleaning while he's calling himself Dead Husband Walking. Coming up in Big Talkers.
Ink lovers from all over have gathered in Philadelphia for the city's 18th annual tattoo convention. Some of the world's best artists are here. They represent 600 different tattoo shops, and they'll be working all weekend long. We spoke to visitors who traveled a long way to expand their collections of body art.
This is the place to be to get amazing artwork. There's massive amounts of talented artists from all over the country here, and super honored to be able to be collecting a piece.
It's like looking at a beautiful painting, and you know, ain't nothing better than showing off your artwork.
Hey, tattoos in process there, right? Okay, the tattoo convention continues tomorrow and Sunday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center.
Well, he may not have the Lombardi Trophy, but he's got a whole lot of little fans in Philadelphia. Carolina Panthers wide receiver Corey Brown paid a visit to John Hancock Elementary in Northeast Philadelphia this morning when he was a 5th grader. And that very school, check it out, he made this tile showing a football and mentioning the NFL, saying he dreamed of playing in the league one day. Well, that tile is still there, and of course, Brown's dream came very true. So to say thank you to the school for their support and their love this morning, Brown brought along one of his Carolina Panthers jersey to leave behind.
The Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial is putting a special exhibit on display for the Valentine's Day weekend. The new exhibit features love letters between crew who served aboard the ship in the 1980s and their sweethearts. It will be on display until Tuesday.
And still ahead right here on a Friday afternoon, we've got an update on that massive North Jersey fire. The smoke could be seen all the way down here in Philadelphia, but now firefighters finally have the upper hand.
And a rescued dog turned detective ends up saving his owner's life during an emergency. We'll explain what happened coming up in Big Talkers.
Give me fuel. Action News continues with meteorologist Adam Joseph, Alicia Pinarelli, Shari Williams, and Brian Taff.
Hello again, it is 4:30, and Action News continues with the punishment for a Philadelphia mom convicted of playing a role in her young daughter's death.
Plus, Action News has exclusive video of a frightening exotic discovery inside a SEPTA station.
And then a husband finds himself in hot water with his wife. He was trying to be helpful by picking up the dry cleaning, but it clearly backfired. We'll explain this poster coming up in Big Talkers.
But first, record cold is on its way to the Delaware and Lehigh Valleys. A number of area cities, including Philadelphia, have issued a code blue, urging people to stay inside.
Yeah, you don't have to urge me. I'm voluntarily doing it. It's pretty cold out right now, but it'll be tomorrow night when we really start to feel the drop in temperature. And so we start at 4:30 with meteorologist Adam Joseph at the big board with the latest from AccuWeather. Adam.
It already feels cold out there right now when you take a look at those wind chills. 16 in Baltimore, 19 in New York City. Philadelphia right now, our wind chill is 16 degrees. By tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, you can knock off close to 30 degrees from that particular number, as wind chills will be dropping close to 20 degrees below zero in and around the city of Philadelphia. As we look at records to watch even on Sunday morning, we're forecasting a record high here of 2 degrees on Sunday morning for the city of Philadelphia, record breaking in the Lehigh Valley of 2 below, and these are air temperatures, 0 in Trenton and 12 below in the Poconos, set back in 1970. In fact, up in the Poconos, it's going to be 12 below for the air temperature on Sunday morning, but wind chill warnings in effect. So I know it's a skiing weekend, but with warnings in effect, take very high caution if you want to head out skiing or snowboarding. 20 to 30 degrees below zero from 6 p.m. Saturday till 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. In fact, the northwestern suburbs, the Lehigh Valley, Berks County, as well as parts of Montgomery and Bucks County, 20 to 25 below Saturday night, Sunday morning. Wilmington, Trenton, Philadelphia, 20 to 15 below, and central Delaware, New Jersey, 10 to 15 below zero for those wind chills Saturday night into Sunday morning. We'll talk about the snow squalls coming in late tonight and also a little snow coming in at the first of next week, and that full accurate forecast, Shari, in just a little bit.
All right, Adam. See you then. Thanks. And you can count on 6abc.com/weather throughout the weekend. Our team of meteorologists will keep you up to date on the Arctic blast. And remember to follow each of them on Facebook and Twitter.
Well, while the coldest air is yet to come, it is still below freezing out there right now. And if you've got to be outside, you're really going to want to bundle up. Action News reporter Trish Hartman now live along the Ben Franklin Parkway. She, too, is bundled up in that snazzy 6ABC cap. Trish, what's going on out there?
Hey, Brian, yes, we are bundled up and ready to go. And many will tell you that the best way to stay warm is to stay inside. Well, if you have an outdoor job, as we know, inside is not an option. But we talked to some folks who had to brave the cold today as the city remains in a code blue. These construction workers got a slow start this morning, arriving at their site on 15th Street to find their equipment frozen.
Yeah, I had to do it today. I had to heat the equipment up today with the blowtorch just to get all the functions, the controls and everything to move.
If you hate the wind on your face, just imagine pedaling into it.
People think I'm crying when I come into the deliveries.
These bike messengers in Center City say the key is bundling up and keeping your head down.
The wind is, sometimes I've definitely learned about aerodynamics in the past couple days, trying to ride low.
And some folks with the day off from school chose to hit the ice rink at Dilworth Park, properly dressed, of course.
Long underwear, hats, and mittens.
The city of Philadelphia is in a code blue until further notice. It's enacted in extreme cold, triggering efforts to shelter anyone who needs it. 450 extra beds are brought into city shelters during the winter months, and officials say they will be close to capacity this weekend.
We have bring on additional outreach teams to visit those particular areas, those individuals, and encourage them to come in.
Now, officials say if they do reach capacity, they will make arrangements to make more space available. If you see someone who needs shelter this weekend, you can contact Project Home or Philadelphia Police. Reporting live in Center City, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News. Shari.
All right, Trish, thank you. The Southwest Philadelphia woman accused of doing nothing as her boyfriend beat her 4-year-old daughter to death has been sentenced. Today, a judge ruled that Josephina Brown should spend the next 4 to 8 years in prison. It comes 2 years after she pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Her daughter, Cianita, died in 2013 from massive internal bleeding. Prosecutors say Brown covered up for her boyfriend, Edward Golphin, as he repeatedly abused her daughter. Upper Marion Township Police say this man tried to break into a stranger's home but was scared away by the homeowner. A woman called police when she saw a man attempting to force open a window at her home on Crossfield Road. Officers arrested Terrell Ruffin after a brief chase on foot. Police say he tried to get rid of a gun and he was carrying a screwdriver and rubber gloves. He allegedly confessed to Upper Marion detectives.
A police department in Delaware is helping make drivers safer, and they're trying to do it without issuing tickets. The Newark Police Department launched its Collision Reduction Initiative this week. The effort comes after there was a record number of crashes, and police say nearly half of those were because drivers were not paying attention. Most of the crashes happened on South College Avenue near Delaware Avenue. Police will have increased enforcement on those streets and several others.
A massive fire that roared through an industrial park in North Jersey is now contained, but it burned out of control for 20 hours. Action News first started covering this as breaking news this time yesterday. Fire crews are still trying to figure out what sparked the blaze in Hillsborough, Somerset County. Well, this morning, the smoke was even visible from here. This was the view from Chopper 6 HD as it flew over West Philadelphia.
We mean it rather literally when we say that a few SEPTA patrons had a wild commute this morning. They found this large snake inside a trash can at the station on Convention Avenue in University City. This is exclusive video of the surprise visitor before animal control officers were called in to capture it. SEPTA is still trying to figure out just who dumped that snake there and why.
Adam is scared and he's here in the studio. Poor guy. It's a big day for sports fans in New Jersey. A new museum is opening its doors tonight that's giving the public access to rare and priceless items from decades past. Action News anchor Rick Williams live in the newsroom with more on this. Hi, Rick.
Hi, Shari. Thank you. That's right. It's a project that's been 5 years in the making, and tonight it finally becomes a reality. We are talking about the Deepache Museum in Collingswood. The collection was assembled by a local cardiologist, and it's valued at $30 million. Coming up tonight at 5, Norm Yashanik takes you inside before tonight's grand opening. Also coming up tonight at 5, we'll be talking more about this weekend's bitter cold. Allie Gorman has more on the frostbite dangers the frigid air could pose for anyone who needs to get out and about this weekend, or running like maybe out. No, I'm not going to do any running this weekend. But those stories and much more when we see you coming up on Action News at 5. Brian, we'll see you later.
Yeah, you just take the weekend off from that.
Exactly.
Get back at it next weekend. Rick,
All right.
thanks. A New Jersey teenager is proving that every penny counts. The action cam was at Cooper University Hospital in Camden today as Melvin Shepard dropped off his annual donation for the neonatal intensive care unit. The 18-year-old started this tradition of collecting pennies when he was 11. He says it's a token of thanks for the medical care he got back in 1997 as a premature newborn at Cooper. So far, Shepard has donated more than $2,000, again, all of it in pennies.
Job well done there.
Way to give back.
Yeah. Still ahead on Action News, we have an update to that damaged cruise ship as it tries to set sail again.
Plus,
they started shooting. The back window of their vehicle just shattered.
And then, a California police sergeant found himself at a shootout with 2 terrorists. He describes how the December day in San Bernardino unfolded coming up.
And rescue away. A shelter dog returns the favor, saving his owner's life. We break it all down coming up in Big Talkers.
And meteorologist Adam Joseph, if we can scrape him off the ceiling after seeing that snake, he'll be back with the AccuWeather forecast next.
I saw the muzzle flashes and I thought they're shooting at me.
New tonight, a California police sergeant is talking about the mass shooting 3 months ago in San Bernardino, California. After Tashfeen Malik and Syed Farouk opened fire, Redlands Sergeant Andy Capps spent most of his day chasing down false leads. Well, that was until he started pursuing the suspect's black SUV. He says he saw the terrorists put on their bulletproof vests before they started shooting. Capps and other officers took cover behind his SUV. The suspects died in that shootout. Later, the weight of that situation hit Sergeant Capps as he sent a text message to a loved one saying he had been in that shootout.
Well, that's when I realized how badly that could have ended for me and for my family. And then you make that leap, well, and for all these other people and for their families.
What an ordeal. Capps has been an officer for 24 years and had never fired his weapon on the job before. He says he would go through everything again in a heartbeat if he had to.
Just incredible, Shari. Thank you. The Royal Caribbean cruise ship damaged in that intense storm should be able to depart as scheduled on its next voyage. The Coast Guard inspected the Anthem of the Seas today and said the ship sustained mostly cosmetic damage. Part of the ship's propulsion system also has to be replaced. The ship arrived back at the port in Bayonne, New Jersey, Wednesday night after it was battered in a storm on Sunday. If all the repairs are made, that ship will take off tomorrow afternoon.
Big Talkers now, an amazing story of love and karma. A rescue dog returning the favor and saving his owner's life. This is Carl, and Drew Smith says he nearly passed on adopting the little rescue dog at a shelter in California. You see, apparently Carl has some issues with his teeth, and Smith says he was worried about the dental bill. Well, it's a good thing he decided to give Carl a chance because he saved his life. You see, a fire broke out inside their home, and Carl woke up Drew, who was sleeping, likely saving his life. Drew says that Carl never really barked, so he knew that something was up. At first, he thought that Carl just wanted to go out and go to the bathroom, but when Smith turned on the lights, he said that's when he noticed that smoke was filling his apartment.
And that's when my smoke alarm and my CO2 alarm was going off. So he got me even before that, saving my life. Who knows if I would have woken up.
Carl, considering that rescue favor returned. Love that story. You know, the internet has certainly changed the way some people find love, and while there's been an uptick on dating sites and apps ahead of Valentine's Day, apparently some people are using them simply to find friends, especially at the college level. A study of 200 students found that 73% use the dating app Tinder. Now, the app concurs, saying that half of its users are, in fact, college age. But they aren't always Tindering. Is that a verb? To actually date. More than half say the kind of companionship they're looking for isn't romantic, but platonic. Some college students say, let's just be honest here, the definition of friend can be used loosely, and it may or may not be the kind of come over and play Monopoly kind of friendship they're looking for. That's if people are still playing Monopoly and Tindering. I'm trying to catch up here. Just ahead of Valentine's Day, ouch, a stay-at-home Manhattan dad is calling himself dead husband walking. Why? He was trying to be helpful here, but then he accidentally put $1,000 worth of his wife's dry cleaning clothes in a recycling bag, which his kid took out with the trash. So dad is now hanging this missing poster around the city. It says, wife's dry cleaning with recycling. Someone picked it up other than sanitation. Reward given. Please contact Dead Husband Walking. Michael Farah is desperate to get his wife's clothes back. He's even been, trash picking around town, hoping to find those missing clothes. His son, who thought that he was also doing a good deed by helping dad take out the recycling, is also pretty crushed here. So the duo offering $200 for the missing clothes. In the meantime, dad says he knows exactly what to get his wife for Valentine's Day. Clothes.
Yeah. $1,000.
He's got a mess on his hands.
That is a
good Valentine's Day for her.
between a rock and a hard place, that guy. All right. Alicia, thanks very much. All right, let's get another check on the roads right now.
All right, Matt Pellman, not in a bad spot, or are you this afternoon? It's Friday, at least.
Well, I'm not in a bad spot because I'm not one of these people. Stuck in these delays. We're not missing the delays this afternoon, that's for sure. They are out in full force, Brian and Shari, here along the Schuylkill Expressway. And while we may have been born to run smoothly on the Schuylkill Expressway, you know it rarely happens, especially with tonight's Springsteen concert happening. So people are going to be headed eastbound towards South Philadelphia for that big concert. But in both directions, those travel times are double what they ideally should be. Still, I think the Schuylkill is going to be a better bet than the Kelly Drive. There's a crash there this afternoon by Fountain Green. You could use the MLK Drive, but keep in mind, the Falls Bridge remains shut down. Second week down, 7 to go on that big construction closure. Have a crash in Eastmount area this afternoon that is knocking out some of the traffic lights centered around Anderson Street and Upsall Street. Also a wreck on the Pennsylvania Turnpike eastbound by Fort Washington. It's gone now, but you're still looking at speeds like 22 miles per hour coming east of 476. And a wreck in Springfield Township along Bethlehem Pike has cleared, but in Springfield, Delaware County, there's a crash to avoid along Sproul Road at Route 1 State Road. Crash in Medias along Baltimore Avenue near State Street, and crossing into Delaware close to DuPont. 141 is shut down because of a new accident between Children's Drive and 202 the Concord Pike. One more crash is still out there in Newark by Siemens along 896 southbound near Corporate Boulevard. Just one lane getting by there. We'll check it again, Brian and Shari, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour.
All right. See you then, my friend. Thank you. And meteorologist Adam Joseph standing by with that frigid AccuWeather 7-day forecast next. The word for the weekend, and meaning like
brutal cold, record cold, dangerous cold. I mean, it's all those terms here as we look at Double Scan Live radar. We're also tracking some snow squalls that will come in a little later on tonight. There are a couple of flurries in the southern parts of Lancaster County. If you see a flurry or two, it can happen, but really those robust snow showers or snow squalls will wait until later on tonight. Wind chills right now, 13 in Allentown, 15 in Trenton, 13 in Reading, 18 in Millville. So it's basically feeling like the teens area-wide, and those numbers will completely crash about 24 hours from now. As we look at satellite and radar, you can clearly see where the front is. I mean, you're seeing some flurries and snow showers, but it's this little bright band of white right here on the U.S.-Canadian border. That is the Arctic front, and that will swing through here around midnight and thereafter. And that's when we expect some of those snow squalls and snow showers that reduce visibility and will quickly coat the ground in spots, even the roadways, with temperatures being between 16 and 19 degrees. But again, that timing is anywhere around 11 o'clock, those far northwestern suburbs, to around 5 o'clock in the morning, Philadelphia to the south and east. Then after that front passes early in the morning, it is a free fall here on Saturday with the temperatures. Our high should come in right around 7 o'clock in the morning of 20 degrees. By 10 o'clock, dropping to 19, 1 o'clock, 17, 15 at 4 o'clock, and by 7 o'clock tomorrow night, the air temperature already down to 12 degrees. And that's only one side of the story. Then a wind chill advisory kicks in at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Future tracker wind chills already going below 0 north and west early on Saturday morning. 1 in Philadelphia, 2 in Millville, and even into the afternoon, they will continue to drop. 2 below in Philadelphia, 3 below at the shore, 21 below up in the Poconos, and then Saturday night into Sunday morning, that's when records will be broken across some of the area, and wind chills, as you can see, will be below 10 degrees below 0. So you're talking 13 below Allentown, 17 below in Trenton, 15 below in Lakehurst, and near 30 below up in the Poconos. And again, heading up there to ski this weekend, we got to remind you on frostbite times early on Sunday morning and Saturday night. Any exposed skin could get frostbite in 15 minutes up in the Poconos, and in the Delaware and the Lehigh Valley, frostbite in a matter of 30 minutes. Then the next storm that comes in here early next week, Sunday, Arctic high pressure's in control, and you could say, hey, this is going to be all snow. This high quickly moves away, so we go from a coating to 3 inches of snow Monday afternoon into early Monday evening, where it's snow to start. Then a period of icing Monday night, but quickly going over to a soaking rain for most of us here by Tuesday morning and Tuesday, and that could create some runoff issues as all that warm air comes in. The ground's solid, and about an inch of rain will not seep into the ground and can collect on some of the streams and also some of the roads. So that exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, windy with wind chills near 0, if not below, all day tomorrow. Brutal on Valentine's Day with sunshine of 16. Light snow breaks out Monday afternoon into the evening of 33. It changes to a soaking rain by Tuesday morning into the day on Tuesday of 52 degrees. And not bad Wednesday and beyond with temperatures overall in the low 40s with sunshine and clouds. So we have quite a bit to go through before we get that quiet period at the end of the 7 day.
All right, bundle up.
Yes.
Thanks, Adam.
Okay.
Still ahead.
All right, it's Freebie Friday, and we have some treats to warm your hearts and surely cold bones this weekend. Amazing news, it is Free Pizza Day at the brand new Blaze Fast-Fired Pizza, which is celebrating its first Pennsylvania location near Temple University. So to mark the grand opening at 1100 West Montgomery Avenue, write down that address, Blaze is offering free from-scratch pizzas, little personal pies for everyone until 11 o'clock tonight to anyone who follows them on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. You got to show them a little social media love, and they'll give you a nice pie. For veterans or active military, Wayback Burgers is offering free American Heroes meals for Valentine's Day this Sunday from 5 to 8. Do check the location near you on that one. This is a great freebie. Whether or not you are a member, Sam's Club is offering a free heart health screening to everyone tomorrow from 11 to 4 at all locations with a pharmacy. This screening is valued at $150, and it includes blood pressure testing, cholesterol, glucose, BMI, vision, and hearing. Definitely go ahead and grab that. Again, that's happening tomorrow. Some fun things to do around town this long holiday weekend. The Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts is offering free museum admission every Sunday for the duration of Procession, the Art of Norman Lewis. That's going to be shown through April 3rd, so free admission through April there. Pretty cool stuff. And the National Constitution Center is offering free admission on Monday for President's Day. And hey, Brian, Shari, there is a presidential costume contest going on as well on Monday, complete with prizes. So get your George Washington wigs out.
Yeah, whip out my Abe Lincoln gear.
Fight and drum.
Alicia, thanks very much. And that'll do it for Action News at 4 today now for Shari Williams, Alicia Vittorelli, and Adam Joseph. I'm Brian Tapp. Hope you'll join me along with Shari, Adam, and Deuces Rogers tonight and every night for a full hour of Action News at 10 on PHL 17.
Now, here are Rick Williams and Monica Malpass with a look at what's ahead at 5 o'clock. Hi, guys.
Hi there. Coming up next at 5, we're getting new information from Chester Police about an arrest after a 24-year-old Delaware County woman was hit and killed earlier this week.
Also, the campaign trail is getting ugly. The harsh words being traded by presidential hopefuls ahead of the next batch of primary showdown.
And our live team coverage of the bitter cold continues for you, including an update, of course, from AccuWeather. That and more next at 5.